Welcome to Module 4 of the Designing for Dissemination, Implementation, and Sustainability, or D4DI&S training. My name is Jen. Today I'll go through Program Evaluation and Sustainability. Along with this video, there is a web-based playbook for you to refer to. It provides additional information and resources for you to use. Our objective for today's module focuses on program evaluation and sustainability using PRISM, or the Practical, Robust Implementation and Sustainability Model, and other dissemination and implementation, or D&I tools. As a reminder, the D4DI&S is a multi-component implementation strategy bundle that includes the 4 components illustrated here. This module is about Component 4, Evaluation and Sustainability. Now, let's dive in. Evaluation should occur in varying degrees throughout all phases of the intervention, as you plan for sustainment right from the beginning. Formative evaluation is an assessment process designed to identify barriers and facilitators that could impact the progress, quality, and potential sustainment of implementation processes, such as effectiveness practices or implementation strategies. This can be conducted during pre-implementation and implementation. Iterative evaluation uses a formative evaluation to assess periodic progress by monitoring initial and midpoint outcomes. Unlike traditional research, D&I evaluation is used to learn and promote the learning healthcare system by iteratively adjusting and learning throughout implementation to enhance relevance and adoption of the intervention. We use PRISM in our own work to guide iterative evaluations. Summative evaluation methods are used to make several collective judgments about the worth of an effective intervention or implementation strategy relative to the intended purpose. Summative data provides an indication of an effective intervention's success in achieving the desired clinical impacts. This occurs at the end of an implementation evaluation. Here are some examples of questions you can ask during the evaluation process, depending on the goal of the evaluation. Formative questions occur during pre-implementation and can include: what might help or hinder implementation and use of the intervention? What is the need for the intervention? Who will use the intervention? Iterative questions focus on a specific point in time. For example, to what extent is your intervention reaching the intended population at this point in time? In the sustainment phase, you conduct your summative evaluation. You may ask, did the intervention obtain the intended results? For whom, in which settings, and at what cost? There are various reasons for conducting an evaluation throughout the different types of evaluations. Evaluation can help you understand how well you implemented the intervention, whether it worked or something needs to be changed. Evaluation efforts during all phases of the intervention can help determine best ways to reach out and communicate with key partners and help you understand ways to enhance sustainability of the intervention in real-world practice. D&I evaluation seeks to understand the implementation process, identify contextual factors, and assess external validity. Frameworks can help guide your selection of outcome variables, create your evaluation plan, assess for unintended consequences, and help identify which implementation strategies to use. Now let's talk about a couple of frameworks to help guide evaluation. The first framework I'll review is the Quality Enhancement Research Initiative, or QUERY Roadmap. QUERY is a national program that partners with VA providers, leaders, and veterans to improve the health of veterans by spreading effective care across the U.S. The QUERY Roadmap can be used to guide evaluation activities throughout pre-implementation, implementation, and sustainability. In pre-implementation, you begin to identify high-priority needs, engage partners, and learn about local environments and culture. In implementation, you use strategies that support frontline implementers with adopting the intervention. And finally, in sustainability, you will analyze the business case for sustaining an effective intervention and hand off to local operations. The roadmap can help make implementation science more user-friendly and accessible to frontline partners who need to apply this knowledge. The second framework I'll review is the PRISM. PRISM helps guide evaluation work during all phases. PRISM was originally developed using several other models, such as diffusion of innovations, the chronic care model, and the model for improvement. PRISM domains identify contextual factors at the local level in pre-implementation and implementation phases, as well as identifying outcome variables and measures of success in a formative evaluation using RE-AIM, or Reach, Effectiveness, Adoption, Implementation, and Maintenance dimensions. PRISM is also used to iteratively assess the context and fit of your intervention and to guide adaptations during planning, implementation, and sustainment in real-world settings. Since RE-AIM dimensions are integrated into PRISM, let's talk a little more about RE-AIM. RE-AIM can be used for planning, evaluation, including iteratively assessing progress, and sustainment or maintenance. It places equal emphasis on external and internal validity. RE-AIM evaluates the intervention at both the individual and settings levels. RE-AIM is not a theory, but it tells you where to look, where things often break down. Each dimension is an opportunity for intervention or improvement. RE-AIM can be used in multiple study designs, including observational, efficacy, pragmatic, and quality improvement. Here are a few factors to consider helping you think through outcome measures for each RE-AIM dimension. Identify who the intervention should impact, how the intervention should impact them, where it should be used, and who should deliver it. The literature can help select appropriate outcomes. Now that you know about a couple evaluation frameworks, let's look at how your iterative evaluation findings can improve the intervention. Here are a few things for you to consider that can help improve the intervention. Work with your partners throughout the pre-implementation, implementation, and sustainment phases. Perform periodic evaluations using PRISM. Develop SMART goals if metrics are not on track. Consider adapting form and functions such as the implementation strategy, the intervention delivery process, how participants are identified, and even the intervention itself. Next, let's talk about sustainability. It's important to work with partners to identify specific goals of sustainability, but the overarching goal of this phase is to maximize the chances that the intervention is maintained without external support or management. Leaders may need support and encouragement to think through issues related to sustainability, which should include data related to progress and results. Taking a pulse to assess sustainment readiness with partners and leaders is an important first step. Evaluating each domain of PRISM periodically may help. And as the intervention continues and the context and evidence changes, you may need to make adaptations in order to promote sustainability of your intervention. Now let's look at strategies that may enhance sustainability efforts and help maintain the intervention impact and delivery over time. Strategies that enhance sustainability include engaging and motivating frontline partners through training, providing toolkits or playbooks, using data to benchmark progress, and ensuring an infrastructure is in place to support and sustain your intervention. Now let's move on to the final topic for today, dissemination. Dissemination is an integral part of sustainability. Strategies for scale-up and spread of your intervention are important to consider in this process. The dissemination framework can help guide the dissemination process. First, identify specific goals and objectives for disseminating your intervention. Then determine who your audience or partners are and what they want to know. You will need to identify your message and think about the best way to package it. Consider the best channels for reaching your audience. You will also need to think about a timeline and funds you will need to execute your dissemination plan. Finally, you need to identify how you will evaluate the success of your message. Here are a few additional tips for effective dissemination. Generally, dissemination should be an active process for it to be effective. That means engaging partners at multiple levels in the organization, such as staff, providers, and leadership. Your message and approach also need to be tailored for different audiences. Additionally, strategies like the D4DI&S can be helpful to follow to set up your intervention for successful dissemination. Evaluation is an ongoing process, rather than a one-time activity. It is essential not only to plan with key partners, but also to provide data and feedback to partners through pre-implementation, implementation, dissemination, and sustainability phases. Various evaluation methods help improve the fit of the intervention to context, promote sustainability, and can inform dissemination strategies. Using theories, frameworks, and models for evaluation can provide a better understanding of what works, what doesn't work, and how to develop and improve future interventions. In summary, program evaluation and sustainability require input from key partners and end users. Frameworks such as PRISM and REAIM can help identify contextual factors and guide your selection of outcome variables, create your evaluation plan, and assess for unintended consequences. For additional information, please refer to the playbook. Thank you so much for your time.